the elections, Roseanne. We are in the craziest time that I ever remember in America right now.
Greatest fucking E.T. Barnum on fucking drugs.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. You love it? Do you love it?
I love every fucking second of it.
Yeah.
I can never sleep. I'm up like, I can't stop reading. It's so fascinating seeing what they're doing to us all. You know, they're really trying to factionalize us. They're trying to divide us. They're trying to divide us on every single non-issue they can dream up.
You don't like Hillary. I know that much, right? You're not a Hillary.
I'm not a Hillary
You're not
fan.
a Hillary
I
chick.
like her.
Yeah.
I've met and had dinner and lunch with her. I've spoken to her about women's issues and Jewish issues and things like that, and charities, and how I don't think that charities should, you know, I do think charities should be above being taxed, but by God, they shouldn't have a fucking bank's worth of money if they're trying to help people.
Right.
They shouldn't be buying fucking property in Dubai.
Right. So isn't there
What
something...
do you say about a profit-making charity? That right there, I start seeing the duality of everything. I mean, before that.
Yeah, I saw
it's
something...
all just a double fuck, a double mind fuck, double talking, big brother mind fuck, where the rich is getting way richer. Anybody who's contaminated with money is a filthy, dirty fucking rat, and that's the bottom line. Capitalism is on its deathbed.
So what do you think is the better option? Because I want to talk about the movie a little bit, and you talk about sort of socialism, but not sort of pure
socialist
solutions.
Such as stoplights, streets, and I believe health care. You pay your taxes to get something. You pay your taxes, and as I say satirically in my movie, in a decent socialist structure, one receives health care or something for their taxes. Schools, they don't turn around and pay their taxes and then pay for schools too. This is National Socialism. And I don't like that one. That's not a good system because it's based on vampire capitalism, and that's what's dying.
Right.
And it should die. And people should take a deep fucking breath, tighten that belt, take a step back, and let it go. Stop trying to prop it up. It's supposed to die because it doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's evil.
So you're not talking about capitalism, just capitalism.
I'm talking about,
itself. You're talking about this crony capitalism and the way they've rigged everything so that the money keeps going up.
See, they say and do the opposite of when they say free markets, they don't mean free markets. They mean free markets for slavers. Now that's a fixed and rigged fucking system against most people.
So that's what's going on here, right? It's sort of like the internet made people wake up to some level of reality that the media is kind of in it with I think some people, I see what people are saying to me. Like, people are waking up to just how rigged the system is, how everyone is being pitted. The media pits everybody against everybody. I mean, turn on the TV right now. What's going on with Black Lives Matter?
That's great, because that's what I wanted. That's why I ran for president, why I made the movie. And I think my movie, Roseanne for President, which is out now, it shows where I planted the seeds. And I knew right where to plant them. I feel just so vindicated. And I feel really powerful. Like, geez, I did find right words. And I always will try to find right words. But the good thing about right words is they turn off idiots. And we don't need any of them. The less of them interpreting and mansplaining and fucking goy-splaining and empire pharaoh-splaining our shit, when it is about profit sharing. It's that fucking simple. You're going to have to pay people decently for working. And every problem on earth disappears the minute that happens. Because they only have wars for slavery. That's why they have wars, so they can have slave labor. So they have a fucking war. Well, the less we would war, the more money for us. That's what I'm saying. Let's not do that just this one time. Let's instead step back, let it fall, learn how to grow our own food. This is number one. Food is money. And getting our water, harvesting our, surviving. We've got to step back from the bullshit. It doesn't matter which one of them wins. It's the same bullshit. It's a duopolistic fundraising arm of the prison military industrial complex. And, Brexit, to me, was fucking the heroes that was the hero's cry, the rebel yell. And I love it.
Yeah.
Because I thought we didn't want this one world government. I mean, back in the 90s, remember they were working us with the one world fucking evil Illuminati. They were working us with that bullshit.
Right.
Which I went right in the heart of that too. And I'm like, I know what you're doing. And when you tell people you know what they're doing, it explodes them.
So what do you make of the whole Black Lives Matter thing? Because this is it. I mean, I feel like this is going to be the issue until the election, and probably much, much longer than that.
Well, I have black teenage males in my family. And it's very frightening, and it's not like they're making it up. It's true and real. It happens too often. It happens to Hispanics a lot here too, but they don't report it as much. Mm-hmm. And they're also locked up hand over fist. But it's just, it's the news again, wagging the dog.
Yeah. So the news basically wants us all to hate each other, right? Like it's
giving us good stories that interest us. That's all. It's speaking to the demographic that it wants to fleece.
Yeah.
Hello, it's capitalism.
Yeah. So what do we do?
But it's bullshit.
How do we get some smart people to?
You don't. It's me. That's it.
That's it?
all there fucking is.
That's it.
And I'm so tired of people not seeing that. But I've gone crazy over it for quite a while. But I'm like, well, and. As a Jew, I believe that everything does happen for the good.
Is that a Jew thought, that things are going to end up well? Because the history of the Jews, a lot of bad stuff happened. It's been a sort of a one endless bad thing after another all along. You know what I mean? Like we've been pogromed and holocausted and some other stuff.
Yes.
So how does it get to the good part?
Just this once, we'll do the right thing. Just this one time, please. That's why my prayer is just this one time don't listen to these fucking paid leftist, fake left assholes. They're full of fucking shit. They're anti-union.
So you call them the fake
I say
left.
we can put the PAL back in Palestine, Palestinian.
Yeah.
Because, to me, as an old socialist, and so were my grandfathers, grandmothers, they were the fucking shit that thought this shit up. They weren't greedy pigs, and they didn't want to kill people. Mm-hmm. They just wanted profit sharing. They wanted to be paid fairly for their labor. And I think that that's the only real issue on earth. And everything is a labor issue that can easily be solved if you take all the drama and bullshit out of it, and it could be easily fucking fixed. And then we would so evolve to such a fucking different place. And I think we're going there. Our technology proves that we're going there. And at the top of the pyramids where those programmers sit, there's a lot of really moral people, more and more. Because I think that at some point, I say, after that dark night of the soul that we all have, rich, poor, any color, whatever, every culture, you got to make the decision to look yourself in the face in the mirror. And some people, they don't have no reflection. Mm-hmm. And no self-reflection means they're not really a person. They're not really human. So
basically being present, I think what you're saying, sort of being present in your own
aware,
self. And
being aware.
And being aware is really...
So hard.
It's hard, but it's really the most human thing you can do, right? Because that's how you don't get manipulated by all these people that are trying to split us all the time.
It's the only human thing.
If you can do this, then you can avoid that.
Yeah. Evil isn't really a person, although there are people who follow evil. Mm-hmm. But evil itself it's a thought. So it's easy to turn it off.
Yeah.
And it should be turned off.
Yeah. That's why I always talk about ideas on this show, because I believe that good ideas will always beat bad ideas if you let them be spoke of. Where now...
What?
Yeah.
What kind of crazy shit was that?
That was crazy?
Yeah.
After what I've listened to for 20 minutes, that struck you as crazy?
Explain
that
it.
Good ideas, that we have to have free speech and let everyone say whatever they want. That true
You mean
freedom.
freedom, real freedom.
That real freedom will
for
always,
good.
yeah.
Because freedom only works for good. It never works for bad. And I mean, there's a
I like
shortcut
that.
for you. Freedom always works for unity, profit sharing, justice, for women and children.
Right. Nobody ever said I'm too free, right? No society was ever, well, why did they crumble? Well, they were too free. That never happened.
Well,
right?
they'll say that shit.
Right.
But I understand what they're saying because you can't let it be free for slavers.
Mm-hmm.
You can't let it be free for evildoers. They take away everybody else's freedom. You got to be for freedom. And sometimes, what are you going to do to defend against those who don't want you to have freedom? Therein lies there's the shit right there. That's where the rubber meets the road, right?
Mm-hmm. So you were always into all this, right? You were always, because thinking about it, I mean, the show, Roseanne, nobody did what you did. You took a family that was struggling. Almost every episode had some struggle related to...
Norman Lear, I mean, honestly, him and Jackie Gleason and even Red Skelton and Lucy, I mean, everybody... You didn't know Lucy was rich or nothing when she was just in that one room.
Right. But you did it, I guess, at a time when maybe sitcoms...
Well, I'm just saying there was a road paved for me. I didn't just come out of nowhere. There was a road paved for me.
Right. I guess maybe what I meant is that you did it at a time when I think when you're...
Goldberg.
What's that? Oh, Molly Goldberg. It's a remake now, but is it even a remake? Does the Goldbergs now have something to do with that Goldberg show? I'm not sure.
I think.
But I guess what I meant is that your show came on when Cosby showed a very sort of middle class or almost upper middle class black family, which was really interesting and groundbreaking. And then you came in and said, here's what middle America, the part that everyone forgets. LA doesn't care about them, New York mocks them, whatever it is. You came in and said, this is what I'm going to do. And the jokes were real, everything about it. The fights that you and Dan had, that you and John Goodman had, I mean, everything, it was real. So did you always realize that was what you wanted to do?
Yeah, that was my goal. It's like, fuck them motherfuckers, I'll show them.
Yeah.
And I knew why they were doing it too. And it was a real woman-shaming thing, and I didn't like that.
What was woman-shaming?
Television. And it pissed me off. So I was like, oh, fuck, I'm going to get in there and do this. And it just started forming. You know how an idea comes. And then, the jokes came. It's always about the jokes, of course.
Yeah.
I was always just looking for a place to put my jokes. I just love jokes.
Yeah.
They just come to me. I don't know, I speak in jokes, so I'm a comic,
Yeah, yeah.
But, there's a lot of thought in comedy and comics. We're smart.
We need more good comedy now, don't you think? Like, I feel like we don't, like, every morning I wake up and I see something in the news and I'm like, fuck, if only George Carlin was around for this, I
got to give it up to Doug Stanhope.
Mm-hmm.
I do think he's this day and age one of George Carlin types or children or whatever you call it, offsprings or whatever.
Yeah.
But I have to say that I went down to Mitzi Shore's, the comedy store there. Mitzi gave us all our starts.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mitzi. And Tuesday night is, I can't remember the name because I don't remember anything, but it's all black comics.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit.
They're on it?
I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah?
They're mixed media. They're doing it with mixed media. It's genius. And they let me come up and dance. But there's some genius comics on Tuesday night, main room comedy store, movie star level, brilliant, physical as well. We used to have those different comics. We'd have like a physical guy, a guy that did characters, a guy who sang and did impressions. Mm-hmm. These are all that in one.
Yeah.
It's scary genius.
Wow.
And I love seeing scary genius comedy, and I've seen a lot of it, It's out there, it's coming. If Trump wins, the only good part really is it's going to be so great for comedy. I mean, oh my God, the jokes will just fucking right.
The jokes, it'll be great for us, but not great for the country, probably.
No, I think laughing's good for the country.
Yeah.
If Hillary gets in, it'll be like, I'm offended.
Yeah. So if Hillary, that's my thing right now. Where
Nobody
I'm at.
will
I don't
have
know
any fucking jokes.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
Just like they don't have no Obama jokes.
Yeah.
You tell me, I mean...
Nobody did it, right?
People whisper Obama jokes.
Yeah.
But few of them are funny. They're just stereotypes, but some of them are funny.
Yeah. So Milo, who we've talked about...
He's got some funny...
Well, he told me that, and I get this part of why he's supporting Trump. He told me that this election has nothing to do with politics. It's purely on culture. It's on this
wrestling match.
It's basically, that's what he said.
Trump's the heel.
Yeah.
He's trying. They got to do him and the CIA and the FBI and the Federal Reserve. They got to do everything they can to make Hillary look good to us. They're going to some extremes.
So you think Trump's in on it with Hillary?
She'll never look good.
You think? Oh, yeah.
She's got too many fucking not goods around her. She should shred them, but she doesn't. She doesn't shed any bad. So that's scary.
Right, it just sticks with her.
Yeah, if I was around, I'd be like, fuck. I did say, no, I'm not going to take a dime from you, motherfucker. I got my own money. I don't need your shit.
So you kind of did. This is so
well, I did. I paid for it.
When I watched
and now
the movie.
Trump, when he was running in the primaries, I could steal. He was stealing my shit right and left. So was Bernie. Hillary started stealing my shit on my show. This one reporter from France came over and she interviewed me for some big intellectual bullshit that only Jesuits read, And she said, would there be Hillary Clinton without Roseanne Conner? I said, absolutely not. There wouldn't be a Sarah Palin either without Roseanne Conner. I'm not saying Roseanne Barr, except for, I did animate that character. But that character's got a life of its own. It's my Frankenstein.
So how do we keep pushing out good stuff? How do you get good? That's what I'm trying to do, is get some good stuff through the noise. And it's tough, but people want it because I see it every day. People are going, wow, people want to be smart, and yet the system is designed to make them dumb. Mm-hmm. So how do you fight through that? Well,
you have to meditate, and you have to find the silence inside that can combat bullshit. Like super lady, superwoman, bracelets. Uh-huh. You have to find the calm place in your mentality to just sit and behold, be aware and behold, and do nothing. Just be aware. And you can do it by, 3 steps. Breathing in, holding the breath, and exhaling the breath. That used to be called count to 10, but it is kind of counting to 10. But afterward, when you do it, you have some peace in your mind when you don't contain any programming or bullshit. You're just open and you feel rather than think. And you feel breath in your body. Right after that, you can see a lot clearer. That's a good thing to think about rather than Hillary and Trump. Be in your body and be aware of your body, of the food you grow and the excess of the food for profit sharing, because you might have to share your profit with your neighbors in order for them to barter something of equal value to you, because you're going to probably be without money. So these are real things. They're not bullshit things. Money's paper. It's bullshit. It doesn't exist anymore. It's not backed up by anything. Just paper.
Yeah.
Why do you work so hard to get paper? For food, shelter, clothing, and community and safety. Well, you already got that shit. If you work it, it's right in front of you. Like cows are in a pasture full of food. We got that. That's how the world really is. When you don't have money, all fucking there anyway. You don't need paper to grow a tomato.
Right.
You don't need to work. People should be working 4 to 6 hours a week.